I have a chapter in my book in which I talk about how to build a self-control muscle. It's really important to do because when they do, again, fMRI studies of some dieters' brain, people who have lost 30 pounds and managed to keep it off for 3 years or more, they have them hold a lemon lollipop in their mouth. And the people who've successfully lost weight, their reward center lights up pretty brightly. They're pretty excited by this lemon lollipop. More so perhaps than people who are obese or normal weight but haven't lost the weight, haven't been successful dieters. The other part that lights up in their brain is that associated with restraint, right? So with self-control. And that lights up very brightly, showing that they have control over this emotional response. So at the same time they're getting excited, they're also having a high self-control activity. The other people, normal or obese people, are not having that self-control light up with the lemon lollipop. So it shows that one of the reasons they're able to stay on for 3 years or more of their diet is that they've gotten this really good control over what they eat every day, and they've managed to keep weight off for years. Now, any diet that you want to stay on or that you like, it really does require willpower to stay on it. And I have to say that, it might sound like it's something obvious, but because a diet doesn't just last for 6 months, it lasts for years and years because the effect of our lower metabolism lasts for years. You have to be able to stay on something for years. And one of the reasons that people come off quite a bit is they get tired of being on a diet, right? No one wants to stay on it for years. You have to kind of build these self-control muscles, these habits, if you will, make it part of your lifestyle so that it's automatic. It's not a big effort for you anymore. And so in the chapter, I do write about some techniques we can use because a diet, or it's like a eating regimen for the long haul. There's small things we can do, and we can build it up into larger accomplishments later. Some of the small things are, there's a study that shows that just managing your posture, keeping your back straight for 2 weeks, just stopping swearing for 2 weeks, those people are able to manage more stressful tasks later. They're able to do more tasks that involve physical discomfort after that 2-week period. So in a way, they've kind of started exercising self-control in one dimension, but it's leading into this other realm as well. And then there's another study where they show that they pay people to use a gym 8 times in 1 month, and they pay another group to use it once a month. And then they don't pay anyone at all the next month. And the people who've been using the gym for 8 times, they were paid to go 8 times, they start just using the gym without getting paid. And so they've built up this habit. And so you can start small, start with small things, make them a habit, and then build up to bigger things. There's also something called temptation bundling. And so we can pair a want activity with a should activity. No one really wants to do a should activity all the time. But another study, they have people listen to a really juicy audio novel. And some people can only listen at the gym while they work out. Other people, they say, take it. You can take it home, listen whenever you want. And the people where the novel is tied to the gym, they go to the gym much more frequently than the people who get to listen to this novel all the time. And in fact, after the experiment is over, that group of people actually wants to pay to stay on the experiment because it's so successful that it forces them to go to the gym all the time. And so we can pair like a should activity with the want activity to get us to do those things, and hopefully those things then become habit over time. But it is a muscle, and even willpower, you have to give it a little bit of a break. And so when people do a should activity all the time, they get fatigued. And they show healthcare workers, they're supposed to wash their hands all day. And they start doing it less at the end of the day. And so when they give them longer breaks in between their shift, they find that they'll continue to do it. They'll wash their hands through to the end of the day. And so it's important to take the breaks, engineer in a break into this long-term regimen that you have. Another good experiment that really illustrates that is there's one where they have people hold hand exercising equipment. They have them do this hand exercise. And after a while, they separate the group into 2 and let one group watch a really happy movie and one has to watch a sad movie. And when they come back in the room and they're supposed to continue this exercise, the group that watched a happy movie they're ready to go. They're at it, they're able to do it. The group that watched a sad movie, they're depleted. They don't feel like doing this exercise anymore. So whatever it is that really motivates you, that excites you, that gives you a little bit of a lift or relief, engineer that into your day if you can somehow, into your week. Make sure that you're relaxing every once in a while, rewarding yourself in some way, that this doesn't just become a slog. And the reason I do talk about willpower is that there's not, on the horizon right now, right, there are some things you can do to manage weight. We have gastric bypass surgery, we have hormone replacement therapy if you want that. There are diet pills you can get. And then there's diet and exercise. And if you really need a medical intervention, every one of them has a risk-benefit profile. And you really need to discuss that with your doctor. If you've gotten to that level where it's really, medically necessary for you to have one of those interventions, that's a different discussion. But for the here and now, it's diet and exercise, I'm sorry to say. And there are things on the horizon. There's possibly leptin injections for people who've lost weight. There's possibly injecting brown fat, which we can get into that too. There are things out there, but for now, we're stuck with what we have, the technologies we have and the abilities that we have. And so diet and exercise is still important. You have to be very smart about it. You have to understand your hormones, your other things that are making you fat. And then you have to be able to stay on whatever that regimen is that you pick, and that's why willpower comes in. But the book is full of many more things than just willpower and diet and exercise.